Welcome, everybody. Casting for two, blowing out eardrums since 2013. I'm your host, the one and only, or maybe, I don't know, can I really claim only? I bet I have a doppelganger somewhere out there. One of the people who host this show, I guess. Whatever. It's Chris here. Welcome to episode number 93, almost triple dig. I'm going to be in the triple digs. And but before here's the thing. Before I get there, I got to get to this episode because that's what's very important. Now let's talk some shop talk. I like shop talk time. I should have my own theme song. I'm not being endorsed by them, but I just saw the new Mission Impossible movie, and that was pretty good. I recommend. This isn't a movie review at all. I recommend everybody watches every movie. So go see this one, and go see Ant-Man while you're at it, because I enjoyed the hell out of Ant-Man. That was Chris' movie recommendation in Shop Talk, presented by Shop Talk. But enough of that. Episode 93, let's get into today's guest. I have the one and only Mr. Justin Maurer, who is in a band called Clorox Girls. And this is a band that they were around in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. And they had some, they went on hiatus and now they're back. And they play just really great punk music. And I had a blast listening to them. And I had a blast chatting with Justin. So let's get into it. So sit back, relax. And Chris, cue the music, please.
Hey, Chris, what's up, man? There you are.
I'm here, yes.
I'm here also. Sorry that I wasn't here yesterday.
No, it's no problem. It's just, I was just kind of sitting there, and it was getting late, and I said, well, all right.
I'm sorry, man. I guess you're about 2 hours later, right? You're over in Texas?
Yeah. So it was getting towards 11 o'clock, and I was just getting a case of the sleepies.
Well, Jesus, man, I'm sorry about that. Same thing. I just had to work late both nights and fight LA traffic on the way home, but I'm here now.
Yeah, no worries. Where do you work?
I work in the San Fernando Valley. I sell X-ray stuff to dentists. That's the day job.
Okay, cool. I know nothing about X-ray stuff. So that's cool. Whenever I saw because I used to sell cameras and stuff.
Okay.
I would be like, well, this camera has, the Carl Zeiss lens, which is used in medical devices, and then I would list medical devices, and people would always go, oh.
Yeah, man, Zeiss microscopes. It's not so different. I mean, I sell cameras too, but just intraoral cameras. So and it's all digital stuff for dentists. So, it's not too far away from what you were doing.
There we go. Yeah. But I'm happy to have you on. This is a very loose show. We can talk about whatever you'd like, really. No agenda, just a nice chat. I would like to talk about the band Clorox Girls, which it's funny because there's no girls in it, but it's still a nice good punk band, which I haven't really heard in a while, I have to say.
Yeah, we haven't played in a while.
Well, can you what about punk is it that you like playing?
You know, when you were a kid growing up, it was a healthy outlet. I mean, a lot of my friends were getting into drugs, going to jail, getting in trouble, and when I found punk rock, it was that kind of outlet for me. You know, for some people it's sports or religion. For me, it was music full on. Became my religion at a real young age, and then you just kind of jump head onto it once you discover there's other like-minded people in other cities doing what you do, and it's a gateway to travel. I mean, I got to travel the world because of it, and I'm really lucky.
Hmm. And is where does the musical side come from? Were you just are your parents musical, or did you just pick up a guitar and just start jamming?
You know, my whole dad's side, I mean, growing up, my grandpa was in barbershop quartets, and so
Hmm.
he would always have men around singing, and he had a whole garage full of instruments, accordions, all this broken shit like African instruments, European instruments. And so my cousins and I would always play together as kids. And my dad actually played in a couple bands in the 80s. And my cousins were involved in music. I was, I think I started at about 11 years old. My uncle kind of showed me a few chords and I was kind of off and running. And my sister was playing music. So it was always around, and I guess I was kind of in both places, Southern California and Washington State, and at a real young age, music was always around. It was always there. It was always a part of culture and youth culture, and I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, it was always there for me, and it just when it hooks into you, it's like an addiction. You can't
Hmm.
really get rid of it.
Yeah, I'm always envious of guitar players, just because I wish I could shred. I don't know what skill I would use that for, but just the idea of me just sitting in a room by myself, just doing weird shredding, I would love that. But I feel like uh, my fingers are too small, so I don't know. That's just I have a trouble. I have problems playing Guitar Hero, and I know it's not the same thing, but I wish I could play guitar and just shred.
It's not too late. There's like on YouTube, there's all kinds of how to play like Eddie Van Halen tutorials, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's like baby steps. You start with the major chords, and then I actually used to teach guitar
Uh-huh.
a little bit. I can't really shred per se, but I play like the same Chuck Berry solo over and over again. But you just you get started and you learn all the major chords and you just the notes and the couple scales and then you get faster and faster as you practice. And I think the shredding thing just comes from these guys who were losers who couldn't get laid and so just sat in their bedroom getting pale and just playing guitar for hours. I mean, if you read interviews with Eddie Van Halen or any of those guys, they
Yeah.
just that's what they did. I mean, how many hours went into shredding? Like thousands. So if you're willing to put thousands of hours in, you can shred. For me, was more of a rhythm guitarist and a performer, so
Uh-huh.
I was always just more about the performance, the Pete Townsend side, the just slamming your guitar like a percussion instrument. So I never really had to shred. I just had to beat the shit out of my guitar.
Well, see, that's where I went the opposite side. I said I hit things and I started drumming. So
There you go.
yeah, so it's I do enjoy that a bit more. It's something about drums as well. My sister was in marching band when I was a younger kid, and I would just see the drum line just going crazy and having fun. And I always said, that's what I want to do right there. And unfortunately, with the way that I look, they slapped a tuba on me for like 4 years until I said, no, I'm going to do drums.
Well, yeah, nothing to be ashamed of. My grandpa was a tuba man,
Uh-huh.
and my dad was a drummer, and drums are my first instrument too. So there you go. We're both drummers.
There we go. Well, see, now that I'm older, I kind of appreciate the tuba and just would love to one day when I'm old and done working, just buy a tuba and see if I can still play it.
Yeah, why the hell not? I mean,
Exactly.
it's a big ass fucking thing, but just give it a go, man.
Uh,
See if that'll fit in your car. See if it'll fit in your car.
yeah, no, that probably wouldn't. Oh, yeah. If I get a sousaphone, I can take it apart. That's all good. But what was one of the earliest songs that you remember playing?
Playing? You mean on the guitar?
Yeah, just like if you were just trying to figure out a song and then all of a sudden it just clicked and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm playing this song.
I guess the first song my uncle taught me was just that "Smoke on the Water" bass line. You know, the bow, 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 bow,
Oh
bow,
yeah,
now.
yeah.
So I guess that's the earliest one I remember is "Smoke on the Water."
There you go. There you go. And so the band, I was reading the bio on the band. It went away for 8 years, or you
Yeah,
went on a hiatus.
2000, 2007 or around that time, I think we stopped playing for a while.
And during those years, was it hard for you not being able to play, or did you just really, really need a break from it all?
It was pretty hard, I guess. You know, you get into that routine, and it's not really routine, but just that, like was saying earlier, that outlet of playing every night,
Hmm.
and when you don't have it anymore, all of a sudden, you know, you're restless. You miss that. I mean, for me, I love traveling, so I mean, we were playing every night for like 8 months straight in different cities, and I really loved. You kind of took for granted seeing a lot of those friends that you would see, 3 times a year.
Uh,
And but I was low key. I ended up staying out after a European tour, just staying in Spain for about 2 years and teaching English, and then I ended up starting a couple bands out there.
mhm.
And then I was in London after that, and so we had like a little band over there that we did some dates in Germany and Spain and England called the Suspect Parts.
Mhm.
And it's really funny because this August we're doing a Suspect Parts tour of Europe again.
Oh,
So it's funny, things just come full circle.
yeah. And so, when did you guys decide to get the guys back together?
The Clorox guys or the Suspect
The
guys?
Clorox guys. Yeah.
Um, I, we just got some offers to play some shows, and I just asked them what they thought, and they said, "Let's do it." And so it turned into kind of a West Coast tour thing, and we got our second. We did the first leg a couple weeks ago, and now we got the second leg coming up in about a week and a half. So it was literally just a suggestion of the one of the promoters who was doing the whole Burger Boogaloo thing up
Mhm.
in San Francisco, Oakland, and he asked if we would play and headline one of their after parties, and so it sounded like fun, and so we said yes, and that's how it kind of got going.
All right. And so, do you keep your rocker persona separate from your your day job persona?
Yeah, I guess it's like two different people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Have they ever clashed ever?
sorta. I mean, I did a couple years ago. I go to all the dental trade shows and things, and
Mm.
they're usually in these big convention centers, and the biggest one in the world is over in Germany. And I ended up getting Suspect Parts back together to play in that town, Cologne, and yeah, I was kind of arrogant and thought I could pull it off, but I
Hmm.
ended up just like missing a great deal of work and almost getting fired, and so
Uh,
it almost didn't work out.
gotcha. And where out of all the touring that you've done, is there one particular place that you look back and you just have good memories?
What I really find is that the countries where the 60s never happened. So,
Hmm.
they had fascist dictators during the 60s and 70s, and in Spain they had Franco. And when Franco fell, when he finally died in the 70s, punk just exploded over there.
Hmm.
And a similar situation in Brazil and a few other countries, Eastern Europe. Um, there was quite a few places where, in the U.S. and Britain and most of the Western world, the 60s were, full on Beatles, Stones, Kinks, Faces. In these countries where that never happened, when you go play there now, there's so much more of an appreciation for it, whereas people are kind of blasé and kind of spoiled in the U.S. or England. And so I found, playing Brazil or Spain, just people go nuts. They just go ape shit, and they really appreciate it. And Eastern Europe too, because that was the Eastern Bloc. I mean, it was part of the USSR, and so they didn't have touring rock groups in the '60s out there until the USSR fell in '89. So when you play Eastern Europe, people really go off too. So I guess those three places, Eastern Europe, Spain, and Brazil, I have the most fond memories because literally the crowd is just attacking you, and really loving it that you're there.
Yeah.
Like we played the north of Brazil with Clorox Girls, and south of Sao Paulo, everybody is generally more affluent and white,
Hmm.
and north of Rio, everyone is kind of generally poorer and black. And we went to the far north of Brazil in Salvador, and it was an old kind of slave port for Portugal.
Hmm.
And there was just a crowd of all black kids that didn't speak one word of English that were singing along to every single word that we were playing. That was just like, I don't even know how these kids got a hold of our music, but they were literally just like tearing us apart, singing every single word of Clorox Girls songs. I mean, it was almost like a religious experience, and it kind of, makes you realize that music is not only there for you, it's there for other people. And sometimes, us just being there and playing there really meant a lot to those kids, and it meant a lot to us to see that their reaction to it.
And it's nice just because you are kind of a part of something a lot bigger as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I had a few drinks and I was talking to Clay he was the drummer of Clorox Girls, and I was telling him that I never told him this before, but we have this song called "Don't Take Your Life,"
Hmm.
and this girl came up to me one day and she goes, I was going to kill myself. I was in the closet and I was literally about to kill myself, and your song came on at this party, and I just decided not to because of the
Oh.
song. And then I had three or four other people tell me that, and
Uh,
then I had like a mother of this anti-suicide organization come up to me and say, hey, can we use this for this compilation? My son committed suicide, and we really think your song, would help the prevention of suicide and all this. And really, it was kind of like a tongue-in-cheek pop song written about, the Sofia Coppola movie,
mhm.
the virgin suicides,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it never intended to be, the suicide prevention thing. But actually, I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like 5 or 6 people told me they didn't kill themselves because of that song. And so, I mean, yeah, I mean, to think of, that at least one song I wrote could have saved, 4 or 5 lives is pretty amazing.
your music is life saving. That's what I'm hearing, and that should be on the album cover.
Well, shit. I mean, you don't want to get that arrogant, but
Oh,
yeah. I
look,
mean,
look.
thank God that these poor girls didn't kill themselves.
Yeah, yeah. That's that's amazing, and also kind of a little. I would be shocked if somebody told me that. Like what I would say, I would just be so awkward and be like, "Oh, cool," and then just I don't know. How did you react to that?
Was just kind of speechless. I mean,
Yeah,
I think I just hugged the girl and I said, "Well, I'm glad you're still around," or something like that. But speechless, really.
yeah, yeah. Wow, that is really punk right there. I think so anyway. I'm not a punk expert, but it sounds punk to me.
Yeah, I'm not a punk expert either. Who knows what a punk expert is or what that would entail? I mean, maybe anyway.
So when does the new tour start up for you guys again?
July 30th,
Okay,
which is the day before my 32nd birthday.
there we go, there we go. And what is there a town you're looking forward to seeing on the tour?
You know, of course, Portland will be great because it's
Mm.
like a homecoming, and Vancouver, Canada,
Mm.
was always just an awesome town for us to play. So that'll be big fun.
Yeah, no, if there's two places I consider home, it's Oregon and British Columbia. So,
Oh, really?
oh yeah, I grew up in Salem, so
Okay.
I love Oregon in general. I just love it. And I went to school off of Vancouver Island in Victoria, and in British
No
Columbia.
way.
And
Wow.
yeah, and I'm going back at the end of next month. So
What the hell? Well, we're there August 1st, in Vancouver.
on August 1st, I'm gonna be in Austin. I
Oh
August.
man. Well, Austin's not so bad.
Well, you guys got to come on down to Austin,
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll be out there soon. I hope so. That would be great.
and just because I'm curious, I'm very curious about the touring culture. When you tour, when you're going from place to place, what is the one food that you end up just eating all the time?
Just shitty gas station food.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You've
I mean,
probably like
or
any type of
or whatever's
burrito.
open late. Yeah, exactly. I mean, taco trucks are the only thing open late.
That-
Um, Sometimes the places you play will give you a little discount or food vouchers or something, so you kind of, eat half before the show and then save half afterwards. But someone will always steal that second half. You know,
you,
I've had it with my name written on the to-go box,
uh,
and I go out after and it's empty. I'm like, whoever son of a bitch, ate my other half of dinner.
you had an amazing show. Here's half off mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, exactly. Here's one cold, shitty slice of pizza and one warm Bud Light. Thank you very much.
And right on. And so, for the people at home who would like to follow you on and just keep in the know, where can they do that?
We got all that stuff, the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter. Um, I'm just lazy, so if I do a post, I'll try and just do something that will show up at the same time on all three, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I still don't understand the Twitter thing. Like, what am I supposed to talk about in, 6 characters or whatever it is? We
Yeah.
have shown up. I am using the toilet. You know,
Well, that and you tweet
uh,
food out.
Someone ate my mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
Hashtag asshole.
Hashtag Obama did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
Hashtag
Yeah,
Donald Trump.
exactly. Hashtag Donald Trump 2000
If
whenever 16.
if Trump was president, this never would have happened.
I don't like to go political ever, but just listening to him has been so funny to me.
Oh
Just
my God, that guy
it's
just he shot himself in like 10 feet.
he
And
did, yeah.
and what's funny is because, he's obviously a businessman, not a politician, but he fucked himself over in every facet in every single business that he has part in, whether it's TV shows or real estate or restaurants,
Yeah.
and everybody's pulling out, and so it's like, there you go, bud. But okay, what's fascinating is the whole El Chapo thing and how he's calling out Donald Trump on Twitter. I don't know if you saw that.
I haven't
Um,
seen this, no.
wow. I don't even understand exactly, but of course El Chapo escaped for the second
Yeah,
time
oh
from
yes, yeah. That's right.
prison, and they say the tunnel, but most likely he just paid everyone off and walked out the front door. But he started calling out Donald Trump on Twitter, which is weird because you think, well, couldn't you track him by the places he posted on Twitter? I don't know, but you have to see those tweets because they're pretty. I don't know. He's just calling him out. I mean, whatever Trump said really pissed off El Chapo, and he's probably not a guy you want to piss off.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to piss off a Mexican drug overlord. No, I don't think that'd be a good idea.
Exactly. Narcotraficantes,
There,
just steer clear.
there we go. Justin, I will let you go back to doing your awesome things, and I look forward. Now, before we go, are you guys thinking about writing any new music, or did you come up with any new songs?
Yeah, the tough thing is the two guys are in Portland and I'm down in LA. So, if we're together for an extended period of time, I think it will naturally come about, but it's been kind of tough just, with that, whatever it is, 1,500 miles of space between us. But I imagine if we keep getting offers for these shows, then we'll kind of be forced into doing something new, which would be a good thing. Probably a single or two, and then an album. I don't know, but time will only tell. You can see what happens. But by the time we're out in Austin, maybe we'll have a new record out. Who knows?
There we go. There we go. Well, if you do, you have to come back and we'll chat about that. All right.
That sounds great, man. Really appreciate it, Chris.
Thank you, and you have a wonderful night. Okay.
Okay, thank you. You too, Chris. Thanks a lot, man.
You too. Bye bye.
All right, have a good night. Bye.